Fortnite OG is kind of a mess right now. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have noticed, but Fortnite OG has a lot of inconsistencies and issues. We're back here talking about Fortnite OG, kind of the biggest nostalgia machine in Fortnite, but there's all types of busted guns, wrong models, broken sound cues. It's kind of chaos right now and not the good kind. A few days ago, this person on Twitter, his name is AliJax, he kind of is like the Fortnite OG king. He's constantly only making content about Fortnite OG, and he is kind of the investigator of all of this stuff. He figures all of this stuff out before seasons come out, while it's going out. He's like Fortnite OG's biggest advocate online right now, and he made a giant thread of like over 100 issues that are going on in Fortnite right now. He said, compared to just a few months ago, Fortnite OG is a lot less buggy overall, but there's still loads of bugs. And then he said, this is a thread of every remaining notable issue in Fortnite OG Season 5 that he is aware of, so there could be a lot more outside of this. We're going to walk through a handful of the most glaring issues, but first, to be fair, we have seen Epic Games fix some of the big stuff over time. Like he said, this is not anywhere close to how bad Fortnite was in the beginning, Fortnite OG was in the beginning. There were a lot of issues, so let's start out on a positive note. First off, the storm is basically back to how it was in Fortnite OG, and I made a video on this talking about it when it happened. They fixed the pacing, the circle sizes, and the rotations feel so much closer to how they were, like that tense feeling in Chapter 1, instead of kind of the weird slow storm that we had at launch and throughout most of what we've seen of Fortnite OG so far. They also gave us the expert mode, which a lot of people like, and it also was absolutely needed. The bots are gone in that mode, and you're up against actual players with no skill-based matchmaking. That's exactly how Fortnite was back in the day, and I'm so glad that they did that. They've also been fixing a lot of little things too. They fixed a lot of sound bugs, lighting issues, and making a lot of the POIs match their original layouts better. It's not exactly perfect, but they've clearly been chipping away and paying attention to what people are saying. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due, but we're going to talk about Fortnite OG Season 5 because it's new and talk about everything that is wrong with it so far. So overall, you guys, the biggest issues that come with weapons and animation mishaps. Now, this is the biggest thing, you guys. Fortnite is they obviously have a lot of guns in Fortnite, and they obviously have a lot of guns that they've used in multiple different seasons that have functioned a little bit differently. And I think the biggest thing with OG and why it's getting so messed up is because they're taking these weapons from, just random points in Fortnite, whether it's, Chapter 4, Chapter 3, Season OG, Reload, things like that, and just copy and pasting them over to the OG mode, which is completely fine, and I absolutely expect them to do that because they're having to focus on multiple things at one time, and having to remake everything and try to make it, brand new again from scratch is going to take a lot of time and is unnecessary. But the thing is if they are going to take all of these weapons from different parts of the game and put them in OG because they're technically the same weapon, they need to make sure that they have the same stats, the same sounds and everything, because they promised us the OG. Now, first off, you guys, one of the most glaring issues in Fortnite Season 5 OG is that double pump and the double shotgun meta is still there. This is something that was supposed to be removed in Season 5, and I remember in Chapter 1 when it did get removed, it was kind of a big deal. I feel like they kind of added the double shotgun over to regular BR because they were going to be removing it from Season 5, but it's still in Season 5, which is really weird. The SCAR also has the wrong reload sound, the wrong model. It doesn't have a target in and out sound, so it's just like silent when you're aiming in and out, and even the wrong firing animation. It's like they just kind of like half glued in the SCAR for this season. And the thing is too, you guys, is that a lot of this stuff, including, the FAMAS, it has the wrong texture / icon. The recoil animation is also wrong as well. The scoped AR is also really bad with recoil. The scope mesh isn't accurate as well. And of course, these are little things that a lot of people aren't going to notice, but it is stuff that doesn't make it OG. You know what I mean? And just a reminder here, you guys, if you are enjoying the current video, please do go down below and drop a like for me. That would be greatly appreciated. And also subscribe to the channel. We make videos like these every single day, so turn on that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. And the weird thing is too, like I was going to say, you guys, is that all of this stuff has been in Fortnite for the last couple of seasons. A lot of the stuff that's like wrong with the game right now is stuff that wasn't just added in Season 5 OG. Like, we've had the SCAR in Fortnite, and all of a sudden it could have been, all of this stuff could have been wrong for this whole time. But if it was right before, now all of a sudden it's just like completely broken. Like, what do they do when they're transferring over to these new seasons that makes them completely mess it up? I'm not really sure. Another thing too is that the thermal scoped assault rifle should be automatic, but it's not. And aim assist with that gun is stingier on it than it used to be, especially on controller. The model is off as well. The suppressed AR needs more spread, and it has a weird firing animation and sound that doesn't match what it was back in the day. Overall, you guys, ARs are probably the thing that are most affected by this. A lot of them have the wrong meshes, the wrong models, they don't have the right grid, or they just don't have sounds at all, which can be really, really frustrating. SMGs and pistols is also something that has had an issue for a while in Fortnite OG. It seems like every single SMG and pistol has an icon, model, or text mismatch. Some still use even the chapter 2 or 4 assets, and title like compact SMG is also wrong as well. A lot of these weapons just have the wrong names too. I believe the pistol also has the wrong name, and it says that it's semi-auto when it's not semi-auto at all. It's an automatic pistol, and it's supposed to also just be named pistol like it was in Fortnite chapter 1. So little things like that. And then some of the biggest stuff is when stuff does the wrong damage. Remote explosives do 100 damage right now, and in OG it was 70. The clinger also stacks wrong. The grenades and portaforts stack at 6 instead of 10. The chug jugs have the wrong animation, and it seems like a lot of this stuff is just kind of placeholder stuff that's kind of tied to these weapons and these consumables, and they copy it over and they just don't decide to change it, or they don't really pay attention, or they don't notice, or something like that. But stuff like remote explosives doing 100 instead of 70, that is kind of a really big deal. That's something that I think I would notice if I played it all the time. I haven't used remote explosives, I don't think, very much in this season. But when you play something like that, also clingers stacking wrong, especially, you know, minis as well. You can't stack them at 10. Big pots stack at 3 instead of 2 still. Stuff like that is just really frustrating to some people overall. And something that's really interesting too, and I wanted to bring up this in particular, is the bush. Now, the bush has a lot of issues as well. It's very, very inconsistent whether it's collidable or if it's not. Sometimes you'll shoot somebody with it and the first shot will do damage, and sometimes it won't. A lot of times people will just pick up bushes because they know that that first shot isn't going to do anything to them. That was kind of the whole like thing around bushes back in the day, but now it's just really inconsistent that there's really not a point in picking it up anymore. The ATK health, now this is something new that was added in Fortnite Season 5. The ATK's health is at 650 instead of 400, and the storm cloud height is still wrong. It is 28,000 units too high, which is really interesting. I'm not sure why they haven't changed that yet. I'm pretty sure that's been an issue since Fortnite OG came out. Some gadgets, as well as like the shockwave grenade, the grappler, the rift to go, the porta fortress, have wrong icons and completely missing rarity grids when you drop them on the ground, or just broken scale sizes in general. Now that stuff is probably 90% invisible to casuals, like rarity grids, scale sizes, and things like that. People who played back then, even them, they're not going to pay attention to it, but it honestly kind of just goes to show that it just feels a little bit lazy, like non-polished, like there's just kind of rough around the edges overall. So property wise, you guys, Fortnite OG feels like a mashup of a few seasons kind of slapped together. It's great nostalgia, don't get me wrong, and it is a lot of fun overall. None of these are like game-breaking glitches or anything like that, and I'm not trying to say that, but it just seems like the execution could be done just a little bit better. Look, I get it, you guys, quality control on the OG mode might have fallen by the wayside, but OG is supposed to be like your pull-in for old players. It's supposed to be like, this is what Fortnite was, and this is what it is now, and it doesn't seem like they're really paying attention to it all that much. I did actually make a video talking about why Fortnite OG is so bad and why they've continued to kind of ignore some of these issues. If you'd like to watch that video over here, it's in the top right of your screen now. That was actually a pretty old video, by the way.